my very first commission was an episode of The Bill. I went to the Northern Film School here in Leeds, and I had a really great tutor who was a writer called Tom Needham, and he introduced me to The Bill, and I got a script commission from The Bill and promptly got fired, so that was good. But I'd always written, even as a kid. I had been one of those people that I used to write pretend newspapers and give them to my family, and I'd always liked to make people laugh with things that I'd written. So from very kind of 8 or 9, I'd write funny stories or funny poems and give them to people. Then I trained in performance art, and I was not a very good actress, but I really enjoyed making up stories, and that's when I thought I'm better at making up the stories and pretending to be in them. Yeah, you lift the lids on hidden worlds. It's still absolutely the way into other people's living rooms and saying, look, this is how these people live, and there's no better way to learn about how other people live. It's the shorthand. It's great. Boys from the Black Stuff. I remember watching it quite young with my mum and dad, and we, fairly middle-class family down south, and watching Yossa Hughes, and I remember my dad crying and getting quite emotional when he's watching it, the sort of pain of that character, and I distinctly remember thinking, God, that is really powerful. Yeah, we do, especially on something like Prisoners' Wives, we really go back to basics in terms of what the character wants, what the character needs, what their kind of interior psychological makeup, and spend a lot of time on developing those characters, weeks often, in trying to make them as kind of fully rounded as possible before we even think about the plotting. So it really is that kind of basic thing of background, where they come from, what shaped them, their relationships with the significant people in their lives. It sounds like a terrible line because it has to be contextualised, but I did the Coronation Street special years and years ago, and it was a character called Blanche, and there was a big dramatic Christmas dinner scene, and she ate a piece of turkey and she just went, oh, very dry. And that was it. It was just a terrible line, but it was just so completely Blanche in this ridiculous scene. So that was, most of the others are quite obscene from Secret Diary that I can't say. I take the kids to school, and I try and start by 9:30, because if I don't start by 9:30, I know I'll just waste a day eating, mucking about. So I try and work from 9:30 till 3, and then if I'm under pressure, I'll do another stint in the evening after the kids have gone to bed. So I sort of break it up like that. But quite often with Prisoners' Wives, I've been writing in London as well, so I've been doing more kind of officey hours. It was from Tom Needham, my old teacher, that got me that first job at the Bill, and it was the thing he kept saying, you have to approach it as a craftsperson when you're writing, and he said it's that whole thing. Doesn't matter whether you're making a wooden pencil case or whether you're making a massive bookcase. It's the same craft. So don't ever turn down a job when you're starting out and think you're too good for a show. You will learn something from every single job, and you have to just sharpen your craft, sharpen your technique, and the art will come.